Right now, somewhere deep inside a coal mine in Siberia, a dump truck the size of a two-story house is hauling 450 tons of rock, and it has been doing that job every single day for over a decade without stopping. Some dump trucks were built so absurdly tough that companies literally cannot justify retiring them. The engines refuse to die, the frames refuse to crack, and the accountants refuse to replace something that still prints money. These are 10 of those machines. Number 10. Western Star 4800. Let us start with a truck that most people outside the construction world have never heard of. But the operators who drive them would never trade for anything else. The Western Star 4800 is built in Portland, Oregon, and it has earned a reputation as one of the most rugged vocational dump trucks ever manufactured in North America. What makes the 4800 special is its combination of a compact 109-inch bumper-to-cab design with an incredibly durable steel frame. That short profile lets it maneuver in tight job sites where bigger trucks simply cannot fit, but the chassis itself is overbuilt to a degree that surprises even experienced mechanics. Western Star designs these trucks with the expectation that they will be abused. Rough gravel roads, overloaded beds, freezing Canadian winters, the 4800 handles all of it. The cab is mounted on a set of air springs that isolate the driver from the punishment below, and the frame rails are heat-treated to resist cracking under constant stress. Operators in northern Alberta have reported running these trucks for well over 15 years in oil sands operations where most equipment barely survives 5. Western Star is now a subsidiary of Daimler Truck North America, but the DNA of this machine goes back decades to a time when trucks were built with one goal: to never break down. The 4800 can be spec'd with a range of engine options from Detroit Diesel and Cummins, and the drivetrain choices include everything from manual transmissions for operators who want full control to Allison automatics for fleets prioritizing ease of use. The truck's electrical system is designed to handle aftermarket body installations without rewiring, which means a single 4800 chassis can serve as a dump truck for 5 years, get rebodied as a plow truck for another 5, and then spend another 5 years hauling aggregate. That kind of multi-life versatility is exactly why these trucks stay on the road long after most competitors have been scrapped. Number 9. Peterbilt 567. Peterbilt has been building trucks since 1939, and the 567 is the company's answer to the question of what happens when you take nearly a century of engineering knowledge and pour it into one vocational platform. The 567 is a set-forward axle dump truck that has become a staple on construction sites across the United States. Under the hood, operators can choose from Parker MX-13 engines producing up to 500 horsepower and 1,850 pound-feet of torque. That is a staggering amount of pulling power for a truck in this class. But the engine is only part of the story. Peterbilt builds the 567 with an aluminum cab that resists corrosion far better than steel, meaning the truck looks and functions nearly the same after a decade of service as it did on day one. The frame itself is constructed from high-strength steel with a rail thickness that can be specified to match the severity of the application. Quarry operators, aggregate haulers, and municipal road crews all run the 567 because it can be configured to match almost any job. What keeps these trucks from retirement is the combination of low maintenance costs and a resale value that stays remarkably high. A well-maintained Peterbilt 567 with 300,000 miles on it still commands strong prices on the used truck market because buyers know exactly how much life is left in the machine. The 567's aluminum cab is another factor in its longevity. Unlike steel cabs that develop rust around the door hinges, cab mounts, and floor panels after years of exposure to salt, mud, and moisture, the 567's aluminum construction stays structurally sound decade after decade. Peterbilt also offers extensive customization options, allowing operators to spec the truck with the exact axle configuration, suspension package, and body mounting they need for their specific application. This means each 567 is essentially purpose-built for its job, which reduces unnecessary wear and extends the useful life of every component. Number 8. International HV Series. International Trucks has been manufacturing commercial vehicles since 1902, making them one of the oldest truck builders in existence. Their HV series is purpose-built for heavy vocational tasks and it has quietly become one of the most dependable dump truck platforms in North America. The HV features a high-strength steel frame designed for multiple axle configurations, including tandem, tridem, and quad setups, depending on the payload requirements. The truck can be equipped with either Cummins or International's own A26 diesel engine, both of which are engineered for the punishing start-stop cycles that dump trucks endure every single day. What makes the HV series particularly difficult to retire is its cost-effective maintenance. International designed the cab with wide-opening doors and tilting hoods that give mechanics easy access to every major component. Oil changes, filter replacements, and brake adjustments can all be performed faster on the HV than on many competing platforms. When maintenance is fast and cheap, operators have very little incentive to park the truck and buy something new. Municipal fleets across the country have reported running HV series dump trucks for well beyond their expected service life simply because the cost of keeping them going is so much lower than the cost of replacement. International also offers the HX series for even more severe duty applications, featuring a rugged steel cab and more powerful engine options for the heaviest loads. The company's presence in both the on-highway and vocational markets means that parts availability is excellent. You are never far from a dealer who can get your truck back on the road within hours rather than days. That parts network is an underrated factor in why these trucks stay in service so long. A truck that can be fixed quickly is a truck that never sits idle long enough for anyone to seriously consider replacing it. Number 7. Mack Granite. If there is one name that is synonymous with toughness in the trucking world, it is Mack. The company was founded in 1900 and has been building trucks since 1907. The Mack Granite, introduced in 2001, replaced the older RD and DM series and quickly established itself as one of the most trusted dump trucks in the industry. The Granite is a Class 8 heavy-duty truck that can be configured with a gross vehicle weight rating ranging from 35,000 to 92,000 pounds. It is powered by Mack's own MP7 and MP8 diesel engines, which are specifically tuned for the low-speed, high-torque demands of construction and waste hauling. The MP7 produces up to 425 horsepower, while the larger MP8 delivers up to 505 horsepower. What truly sets the Granite apart is its galvanized steel cab. While most dump truck cabs begin rusting within a few years of service, Mack's galvanized construction resists corrosion for the entire life of the vehicle. A typical heavy-duty dump truck like the Mack Granite can last 15 to 20 years or 500,000 to 700,000 miles with proper maintenance. That is an extraordinary lifespan for a vehicle that spends its days being loaded with rocks, gravel, and demolition debris. The Mack Granite is so durable that it has even been adapted for military use. Mack Defense builds the heavy dump truck on the Granite platform, featuring all-wheel drive capability and a replaceable armored cab for deployment in combat zones. When a truck is tough enough for the battlefield, retiring it from a construction site seems almost impossible. Mack introduced a new generation Granite in 2026, pairing the MP13 engine with the ADRG automated manual transmission for even greater fuel efficiency and power. Number 6. Kenworth T880. Kenworth has been building trucks since 1923, and the T880 is their flagship vocational platform. It is one of the most popular dump truck chassis in the industry. And for good reason. The T880 combines raw power with a level of driver comfort that keeps operators productive over long shifts. The standard engine is the Packer MX-13, rated up to 500 horsepower and 1,850 pound-feet of torque. For even more capability, the T880 can also be ordered with the Cummins X15 engine. The truck features a severe service chassis with reinforced frame rails, heavy-duty crossmembers, and a setback front axle design that allows for maximum maneuverability and optimal weight distribution. Kenworth builds the T880 with a cab that includes a 15-inch high-definition digital instrument cluster, an industry first at this size. The headlamps are designed with extra-thick polycarbonate lenses and UV inhibitors so they can withstand years of service without clouding or cracking. These may seem like small details, but they add up to a truck that simply does not deteriorate the way competitors do. What makes T880 dump trucks almost impossible to retire is their adaptability. The chassis can be configured for everything from standard dump operations to concrete mixing, refuse collection, and heavy haul. When one job is done, the T880 can be rebodied and sent to the next assignment. Operators report that these trucks easily exceed 500,000 miles with scheduled maintenance, and many have crossed the 700,000-mile mark while still running on their original frames. Number 5. Volvo A60H. Now we step into a completely different category. The Volvo A60H is an articulated dump truck, meaning it bends in the middle to navigate terrain that would stop a rigid frame truck dead in its tracks. Volvo invented the articulated hauler concept over 50 years ago, and the A60H represents the pinnacle of that half-century of development. The A60H was introduced in 2016 to mark Volvo's 50th anniversary in the articulated hauler market. It has a payload capacity of 55 tons, which was a 40% increase over Volvo's previous largest model, the A40. It is powered by a 16-liter Volvo engine, delivering 382 kilowatts of power with excellent fuel efficiency. What makes this truck nearly impossible to retire is the articulated steering system, combined with 100% differential locks and an all-terrain bogie suspension. The A60H can climb steep gradients, traverse soft ground, and handle uneven surfaces that would cripple a standard rigid dump truck. In quarries, open pit mines, and large earth-moving operations, the A60H offers an alternative to rigid trucks by hauling similar amounts of material in shorter cycle times because it can take more direct routes across rough terrain. Volvo builds the A60H with heavy-duty front and rear frames, a reinforced hitch, and wet disc brakes that are completely sealed from contamination. The service access is designed so that the front grille swings down to create a service platform with anti-slip steps. When maintenance is this easy and the machine is this capable, operators simply keep running them year after year. The A60H has established itself as a machine that earns its keep every single shift, making retirement an impossible conversation for fleet managers. Volvo's 50-plus-year heritage in the articulated hauler segment means they understand the failure modes and stress points of these machines better than anyone. Every generation of Volvo hauler has incorporated lessons learned from the previous one, and the A60H represents the culmination of all that accumulated knowledge. The truck's onboard telematics system tracks fuel consumption, payload data, and component health, giving fleet managers the real-time information they need to optimize each machine's performance and schedule maintenance before problems arise. When you combine this data-driven approach with a fundamentally robust machine, you get a truck that just keeps going, load after load, year after year, until the mine or quarry it works in has been completely exhausted. Number 4. Caterpillar 777. The Caterpillar 777 is one of the most iconic mining dump trucks ever built. It was first introduced in 1974, which means this platform has been in continuous service for over 50 years. That alone tells you everything you need to know about how tough this machine is. The original 777 was a 100-ton haul truck designed for open-pit mining, powered by a diesel engine producing 870 horsepower. Over the decades, Caterpillar has refined and improved the design. The 777D, introduced in 1996, upgraded the power to 938 horsepower while improving fuel efficiency and operator comfort. The reason the 777 series refuses to retire is simple. The engineering is so fundamentally sound that the trucks keep running long past their expected service life. The frame is built from mild steel that provides flexibility and resistance to impact loads, even in extremely cold climates. This design choice allows for easy field repairs, meaning a cracked frame can be welded on site rather than requiring the truck to be shipped back to a depot. Mining companies around the world have reported operating Caterpillar 777 trucks for 20,000 hours or more, which in a 24-hour mining operation translates to roughly a decade of continuous use. Many of these trucks have been rebuilt multiple times, receiving new engines, transmissions, and hydraulic systems while the original frame continues to serve as the backbone of the machine. The 777 is a perfect example of how brilliant structural engineering can create a truck that literally outlives the mines it was built to serve. Caterpillar has sold thousands of 777 units across every continent, and the truck's reputation is so strong that used 777 models from the 1990s still command significant prices at auction. Mining companies in developing countries actively seek out older 777 trucks because they know the platform is simple enough to maintain without specialized diagnostic equipment and tough enough to handle conditions that would destroy a lesser machine. When a truck design is still relevant and in demand after 50 years, calling it tough is almost an understatement. It is practically indestructible. Number 3. Komatsu 930. The Komatsu 930E is an ultra-class mining haul truck that has been in production since 1996. It is manufactured in Peoria, Illinois, and has established itself as one of the most reliable diesel-electric haul trucks in the world. Over 1,800 units are currently operating in mines across the globe, from Chilean copper mines to Australian iron ore operations. The 930E uses a diesel-electric powertrain. A massive diesel engine generates electricity that powers AC traction motors mounted in the rear wheels. This system eliminates the need for a traditional mechanical transmission, which removes one of the most common failure points in heavy haul trucks. The current 930E5 model produces 2,700 gross horsepower and can carry a payload of 290 metric tons. What makes the 930E virtually impossible to retire is the combination of its AC electric drive system and its structurally enhanced frame. The frame is designed using advanced computer-aided analysis and full-scale dynamic testing, with steel castings incorporated at critical load-bearing points, including the rear body pivot and horse collar sections. This level of structural engineering means the frame can handle rated payload with extraordinary reliability over tens of thousands of operating hours. Komatsu equips every 930E with the KOM Trax Plus monitoring system, which uses satellite-based communication to track the health of every major component in real time. This predictive maintenance capability means problems are identified and addressed before they cause breakdowns, further extending the useful life of each truck. Mining companies have reported operating 930E trucks for well over 60,000 hours, and with proper component replacement programs, these machines show no signs of slowing down. The 930E's frame alone has a tensile strength that typically exceeds 150,000 pounds per square inch, which dramatically reduces the likelihood of structural failure even under the most extreme loading conditions. Each truck body is engineered to meet the specific requirements of an individual mine site, with liner packages tailored to the abrasiveness and density of the material being hauled. That level of customization means every 930E is optimized for its exact application, which further extends component life and keeps the truck productive for decades rather than years. Number 2. Liebherr T880. The Liebherr T880 holds a distinction that few mining trucks can claim. It is the lightest ultra-class mining truck with the highest payload in the 360-ton class. Built by Liebherr Mining Equipment in Newport News, Virginia, the T880 delivers over 4,000 horsepower while maintaining an empty vehicle weight of just 237 tons. That weight advantage translates directly into more payload per trip and lower fuel consumption per ton hauled. The T880 is powered by a 20-cylinder diesel engine and uses Liebherr's proprietary insulated gate bipolar transistor AC electric drive system. This drive system is one of the most advanced in the mining industry, providing precise speed control on grades and regenerative braking that feeds energy back into the system during downhill runs. The gross vehicle weight when fully loaded reaches 600 tons. What makes the T880 nearly impossible to retire is the sheer depth of engineering that went into its design. Liebherr reports that the T880 fleet has accumulated over 2.1 million hours of operating experience across a wide range of climates and mining applications. Every component is designed for extended service intervals, and the integrated electronic diagnostic system continuously monitors vital truck health and performance data, allowing maintenance crews to schedule repairs proactively rather than reactively. The T880 also supports Liebherr's trolley assist system, which uses an overhead pantograph to connect the truck's electric drive to the mine's electrical grid. This dramatically reduces diesel consumption on uphill hauls and increases truck speed on grade. At the Collahuasi copper mine in northern Chile, T880 trucks equipped with trolley assist are setting new standards for high-altitude haulage at elevations where many machines struggle to perform. When a truck can operate efficiently at extreme altitude, in extreme cold, and in extreme heat, retiring it becomes a financial impossibility. The T880's predecessor, the T882 series, was produced from 2004 to 2018 and established Liebherr's reputation in the ultra-class mining truck segment. The T284 builds on that legacy with improved fuel efficiency, more powerful engine options delivering up to 4,000 horsepower, and a refined electric drive system that offers smoother acceleration and more precise speed control. Liebherr assembles these trucks in Newport News, Virginia, giving North American mining operations a domestic source for one of the most advanced haul trucks in the world. The combination of Swiss engineering precision and American manufacturing capability has produced a truck that mining companies simply do not want to give up. Number 1. Caterpillar 797. And now we arrive at the truck that might be the toughest dump truck ever built, the Caterpillar 797F. This is the machine that set a world record when a single unit at Syncrude's oil sands operation in northern Alberta, Canada, surpassed 150,000 operating hours. To put that in perspective, the truck was originally designed for an operating life of 72,000 hours. It more than doubled its intended lifespan and was still running. The 797F is a 400-ton class mining truck, the largest in Caterpillar's lineup. It produces up to 4,000 horsepower from a massive Cat diesel engine and uses an entirely mechanical drivetrain, unlike many competitors that rely on electric drive systems. The gross operating weight when fully loaded exceeds 1.14 million pounds. There are approximately 500 different sensors located throughout each vehicle, feeding data to an onboard computer that provides real-time health monitoring to a panel operator in a remote office. The frame of the 797F uses a box section design incorporating 2 forgings and 14 castings in high-stress areas. Deep penetrating, continuous wraparound welds resist damage from twisting loads without adding unnecessary weight. The mild steel construction throughout the frame provides the flexibility and impact resistance needed for cold climate mining operations while allowing easy field repairs when damage does occur. Craig Coulin, Syncrude's manager of mine mobile maintenance, acknowledged the remarkable achievement of the record-setting truck. The collaboration between Syncrude, Finning Canada, and Caterpillar during the development and ongoing improvement of the 797 was identified as a major factor in the truck's extraordinary durability. Teams from research, reliability, maintenance, and operations all contributed to pushing the truck far beyond its original design parameters. Caterpillar also offers the Catmine Star Command system for the 797F, enabling fully autonomous operation. Autonomous 797F trucks can respond to calls from the shovel, move into position, haul to dump points, and even report for maintenance, all without an operator on board. This technology means the trucks can operate near continuously, further extending their productive hours and making the case for retirement even harder to justify. With 25% lower maintenance costs and 35% lower oil and lubricant costs compared to previous generations, the 797F does not just refuse to retire, it actively makes retirement a bad financial decision. The oil sands of northern Alberta are considered one of the most punishing operating environments on the planet. Temperatures can plunge below -40 degrees. The abrasive bitumen-saturated sand destroys components that would last years in a normal mine, and trucks operate around the clock with minimal downtime. The fact that a Caterpillar 797 not only survived but thrived for over 150,000 hours in this environment is a testament to engineering that goes beyond durability into something approaching mechanical immortality. If you learned something new today, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content on the world's most incredible machines. Drop a comment below and tell us which dump truck on this list impressed you the most. We read every single comment, and your suggestions help us decide what to cover next. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and we will see you in the next video.